So we are back to the same old dog and pony show with our elected representatives, going after the big tech people. Well, we know that they've done this multiple times, over and over and over again, where they all go down to Congress and start testifying about their censorship. And then what immediately happens? Well, all of the mainstream media comes out and says, study shows that there is no such thing as a conservative bias on social media. Conspiracy theorists believe that they're being censored online. Just all of them running cover for big tech. Why is that? Well, because big tech and the mainstream media have a parasitic but mutually beneficial relationship. They're parasitic off of us, the users and the general public, but then they're mutually beneficial, right? The mainstream media covers for big tech. Big tech promotes and lifts the mainstream media's content all over all of their platforms, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. And they all say it as if it's some wonderful thing. They call it authoritative sources, right? So basically, we're in a Pravda situation where we just have this straight up mockingbird media that is now eating out of the hand of mainstream media. Google YouTube has given millions and millions of dollars to these mainstream media organizations to help promote their YouTube channels. So, I mean, CNN, MSNBC, CBS, ABC, NBC, all of the big ones have gotten millions of dollars from YouTube to help increase their presence on YouTube. So that's why the only things that you'll get recommended anymore is from Fox and CNN, all the mainstream media nonsense, right? And why is that? Well, because that gives them the power to control the narrative. So let's watch this. We're just gonna watch a couple minutes of this because, honestly, I can't stand either of these people. Ted Cruz here is a raving Zionist neocon loser. He's always been a loser. He does a good. He puts on a good show. Congratulations, he puts on a good show here. But they don't ever do anything. And Donald Trump is still monitoring the situation, right? But big tech just gets away with whatever they want. They censor whatever they want. And all of the different organizations chirping in the ears of the social media giants, they get their way. While us little guys who aren't here to harm anybody, right? No, nobody's calling for violence. It's our opinion. We have to have the right opinion in order to be able to post on these websites anymore. I'm still on a 2-week ban for my main YouTube channel after just getting off of a 1-week ban. Because why? Because I have the audacity to dare to criticize the establishment politicians. How dare I? That's bullying and harassment. I'm bullying and harassing politicians. The people that are guilty of murder and all kinds of horrendous crimes all over the world. But yeah, we're the dangerous ones. We're dangerous conspiracy theorists. So let's listen to Ted Cruz and Jack Dorsey. Jack off Dorsey.
Does Twitter have the ability to influence elections?
No.
You don't believe Twitter has any ability to influence elections?
No, we are one part of a broad spectrum of communication channels that people have.
So clearly, it's he just said that right to the camera and to millions of people. He said no. So if that's the case, if Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, if they cannot influence elections, why did they all say it? We've seen Google executives, YouTube executives all saying that the elections can be affected through social media. That's why they have all their, get more info about the election. We're stopping misinformation about elections because we don't want foreign actors to influence the elections. It's just such a lie, right? This guy is such a scumbag liar. And here's the thing. Is Jack Dorsey a billionaire? I'm pretty sure he's a billionaire, right? The guy's a billionaire, at least a millionaire. I don't know. Who cares? It's all funny money anyways. But why exactly does this guy right here, who has unlimited resources, whether he's a billionaire, unlimited resources, why does he look like a hobo? Why doesn't he get a haircut? I mean, come on. The guy should and easily would have, a private hairstylist that he has on call, right? I mean, why is it that he can't get a haircut? This guy's going up in front of the entire country right now, and this is how he presents himself, right? Looks like he hasn't showered in a month, right? He looks like he hasn't showered in a month, doesn't trim his hair, doesn't trim his beard, and he's wearing a nose ring. What is the deal? Man, these are the people. These are the people that are controlling what other people get to say or not get to say, right? This loser right here, this loser scumbag right here is the one that gets to tell us what we're allowed to say or not say online. And, I'm so sick of that. Oh, well, you agree to the terms of service. You can go somewhere else. It's ludicrous, right? It's ludicrous. It's the same thing as saying, no, you can't use your cell phone for that. You're going to get banned off of your cell phone now. You can just use a landline. Just use a landline if you want to communicate. Use the post office. You just send a letter. If you want to send a text message to somebody, just send a letter. It's the same thing, right? It gets to a point where, if these companies don't want to do the right thing, which the right thing is protecting civil liberties, right? Protecting civil liberties. It should be their number one absolute goal, period. And that one of those civil liberties that is the most important is freedom of speech. They should be championing this all across the world, right? No matter what country, they should be bringing American values to their platforms all over the world. But they're not. They're in all kinds of deals with the commies in China, and they work with the ADL and all these different groups that are just hell-bent in silencing people. And why do they want to silence people? Well, because they want to control the narrative, which ends up controlling the minds of everybody because they want power. These people are power-hungry, narcissistic, megalomaniacs, psychotic, lunatics that all want to control everything in the world. And that's what this is all about. And they know it. That's why this guy has no problem sitting here, one of the supposedly most powerful politicians in the world, and lying directly to their face, which is a felony. It carries prison time, right? He is not allowed to lie to these people, but he does. And you know why? Because he knows that he is untouchable. You have a certain amount of money, and then you have all the people that you've already been serving, which is not the customer, it's not the people, it's not the society. They serve the special interests that sit at the top of that little pyramid up there, and he knows that he's untouchable. That's why he sits there and is literally committing a crime in front of the entire world. So let's listen to a little bit more of this loser.
So you're testifying to this committee right now that Twitter, when it silences people, when it censors people, when it blocks political speech, that has no impact on elections?
People have choice of other communication channels with which.
Not if they don't hear information. If you don't think you have the power to influence elections, why do you block anything?
Well, we have policies that are focused on making sure that more voices on the platform are possible. We see a lot of abuse and harassment, which ends up silencing people and having them leave from the platform.
All right, Mr.
A lot of abuse and harassment that ends up silencing people. See, that's the thing. They always go back to this, we're protecting people. That's what we're doing. They're so full of shit. All of them. They're just so full of it. If you want to protect people, you know what you do? You give the user, the end user, robust controls to be able to silence whatever they don't want to hear. If you don't want to hear some dickhead calling you fat, silence, block, problem solved. You don't want to hear some person calling you ugly or whatever, right? Somebody harassing you, which, what they call harassment is just having differing opinions at this point, right? What they call hate speech is just differing opinions at this point. But I mean, that's the simple fix. Everybody wins. Everybody gets their free speech, right? And you just allow people to control it themselves, right? They already have block lists on Twitter, right? You can be following the wrong person, and you'll be on a block list, and thousands of people will block you that you've never interacted with. You don't know that they exist. They don't know that you exist, but yet you're blocked. Those are the things that should be available to all of these little crybaby pussy whiners. That's what should be available. But no. They want to control it from the top up. Because again, they're control freaks. They want to control the narrative. They want to control you. They want to control me. And they think that you are too stupid to be able to figure things out for yourself, to form your own opinion. Their opinion is the right opinion, and you're a dumbass that can't figure it out for yourself, so they need to go ahead and figure that out for you. their opinion's the right opinion. So they're going to deliver that to you and ensure that their information that they want you to see gets in front of you. And information they don't want you to see, well, guess what? You get banned from the internet.
Mr. Dorsey, I find your opening questions, your opening answers absurd on their face. But let's talk about the last 2 weeks in particular. As you know, I have long been concerned about Twitter's pattern of censoring and silencing individual Americans with whom Twitter disagrees. But 2 weeks ago, Twitter, and to a lesser extent Facebook, crossed a threshold that is fundamental in our country. 2 weeks ago, Twitter made the unilateral decision to censor the New York Post in a series of 2 blockbuster articles, both alleging evidence of corruption against Joe Biden, the first concerning Ukraine, the second concerning communist China. And Twitter made the decision, number one, to prevent users, any user, from sharing those stories. And number two, you went even further and blocked the New York Post from sharing on Twitter its own reporting. Why did Twitter make the decision to censor the New York Post?
We had a hack materials policy that we.
When was that policy adopted?
In 2018, I believe.
In 2018. Go ahead. What was the policy?
So the policy is around limiting the spread of materials that are hacked. We didn't want Twitter to be a distributor for hack materials. We found that the New York Post, because it showed the direct materials, screenshots of the direct materials, and it was unclear how those were attained, that it fell under this policy. Now,
so just think about how ludicrous that is, right? So a journalist's job is to report the news no matter what it is. And there's special protections for journalists to be able to put out information that was obtained illegally, even through hacks, other ways, leaks, whatever, right? But that's the thing. This just shows you that their policies against hacked material, all they're doing is protecting the political class, right? That's what they're doing. They're protecting the elites. It's not something to protect us, right? This is information that everybody should hear, right? It goes down from the Hillary emails, all the different WikiLeaks, the Pentagon papers, all of the different leaks that have come out that have valuable information in it, right? That the public is absolutely has a right to view, right? And has a right to know, right? These people are protecting the empire. It has nothing to do with protecting the individual user, us, or anything. Oh no, it was hacked. Oh my gosh, it was hacked material. We can't have that. It just goes to show you that everything that these companies are doing is directly working against the interest of the people. And honestly, they should be shut down at this point. You know, they just should. These people, they've committed all kinds of crimes, both, you know, the actual letter and the color of the law. And it's just gross. It's gross watching this hobo-looking mofo here just sit here and lie to everybody when he knows full well exactly what they are doing.
So in your view, if it's unclear the source of a document, and in this instance, the New York Post documented what it said the source was, which it said it was a laptop owned by Hunter Biden that had been turned into a repair store. So they weren't hiding what they claimed to be the source. Is it your position that Twitter, when you can't tell the source, blocks press stories?
No, not at all. Our team made a fast decision. The enforcement action, however, of blocking URLs, both in tweets and in DM, in direct messages, we believe was incorrect. And we changed it.
Today, right now, the New York Post is still blocked from tweeting 2 weeks later.
Yes, they have to log into their account, which they can do at this minute, delete the original tweet, which fell under our original enforcement actions, and they can tweet the exact.
Can you believe that? Can you believe that this guy, this loser here, is like, yeah, they could tweet as long as they do what we tell them, and they need to delete that tweet. Like, screw you, man. I guess screw you. You're such a loser. This guy is such a loser. I don't care how much money this guy has. I don't care how much property he has. I don't care. This guy is a loser. He is a scumbag, just directly violating people's rights. And I don't care. Oh, well, the First Amendment's only for government. I don't care. I don't care. What he's doing is wrong, and everybody should see that. And everybody that's arguing that, well, it's just a private company, blah, blah, blah. No, this guy is wrong. If I had a big, huge company in the United States of America, I wouldn't just start going, oh, you know what? Well, now that I'm a big country, I'm going to start being a fascist. My company is now going to be fascist. We're going to do everything the opposite of what the Constitution in the United States prescribes. So I'm just going to do things like that. And that's just the way that we're going to do it. So everybody else can kiss my ass. No, these companies should be American companies. They should have American values. But that's the thing. These people don't. They are enemies of the republic. They're enemies of the people, and that's really where we're sitting at this point. And just the fact that they'll sit there and look you in the eye and lie to millions and millions of people, that just shows you the type of people that they are to begin with. So my original assessment of this guy being a loser, it still stands. He is a loser.
Exact same material in the exact same article, and it would go through.
So, Mr. Dorsey, your ability is you have the power to force a media outlet. Let's be clear. The New York Post isn't just some random guy tweeting. The New York Post has the fourth highest circulation of any newspaper in America. The New York Post is over 200 years old. The New York Post was founded by Alexander Hamilton. And your position is that you can sit in Silicon Valley and demand of the media that you can tell them what stories they can publish, and you can tell the American people what reporting they can hear. Is that right?
So I'm not going to keep going through this. You guys should go watch the whole thing. But I just wanted to make one more comment about these big tech elites, right? Look at the places that they all live, right? You know, the cities that they live in and the politicians that they're local politicians that they all collude with. Look at the cities. Rife with homelessness, right? Just total homelessness, degeneracy everywhere, filth. Piles of shit all over the streets, hypodermic needles, people, performing sex acts right on the sidewalk in many cases. I mean, plenty of footage of it, right? Huge homelessness epidemic, all in these big cities where all of these various so-called elites live, right? You would think that they all talk this big game, inclusive, equity, all their nonsense, Marxist, social justice warrior rhetoric that they use, but yet they can't even fix their own areas. So instead, what do? They live in big mansions, big gated communities with armed security, where they're completely insulated from all of the nonsense that they've created in their own cities. The biggest wealth disparities out of anywhere in the country are in the big cities where all of these elites live. So, it's just so funny how they walk around like they are just so holier than thou, better than everybody else. And you know what? They know what's right. Their policies in terms of service. Really what's happening now is we're seeing the Constitution of the United States of America slowly being morphed into a terms of service. And it's unilateral, right? They don't put the terms of service up and go, okay, so here, we're going to put this out for the public commentary. Shareholders are going to comment on this and everything. No, it's just all unilateral. If you use it, you're agreeing to it. And not only that, it's just so ludicrous, right? Because any contract that anybody has to have two consenting parties, right? You can't force one to accept it, right? You can't just say, okay, you accept it. So the funny thing is you use the website, right? You're using their service. And then they can, at any given time, they can violate the contract. They can violate the terms of service. All of their stuff, they can violate it. Or they can just change it midstream at any point in time without, and then retroactively change it. Like my videos on YouTube. From over a year now, over a year old videos, I'm getting strikes for because of so-called changes in their terms of service. So unilateral. Nobody agreed to it, and then they can just change it at any time, and then we're bound by it, right? That's not how that works. Could you imagine if you had like a business contract or a real estate contract or whatever, where you're entering a contract, and then the other party's like, I know we agreed to $500,000, but I think it's going to be $1 million. Deal done, thank you. That just doesn't. It's not how it works. So I just find it so strange and odd how they get to create these legally binding contracts, and it says it right in their terms of service. It is a legally binding contract, and they just get to unilaterally do whatever they want at any point in time, and nobody else has any recourse for anything. It's just so stupid. And it's not like, you just get to use the service for free, and blah blah. No, we are their product. You know what I mean? We're their product. We earn them money just by us being there. Our eyeballs, us using the website. They need us more than we need them, right? So us being on there, that is finance. That is money. That is currency for them. So we're actually the product. And the fact that they just don't care whatsoever about the people, the users at all, it just shows you we're not the customers here at all. The customers of big tech are, well, first off, the oligarchs, the elites, and everything that are really pulling the strings, right? But then it's all the big, huge corporations that use them for advertising. And you know what they all happen to be? They just all happen to be members of the World Economic Forum, the World Federation of Advertisers, right? So isn't it just so funny how they're all part of these same organizations, and all these big tech losers like Hobo Jack Dorsey here, just telling anybody what they may or may not think, because that's what it is. They're not banning people for, the actual violence, right? It's having the wrong opinion, really. And it used to be, well, okay, your opinion that you don't like certain classes of people, well, that's wrong, and we get rid of that. And everybody kind of agreed to that because, that's not really cool or whatever. But now it's like, oh, well, you don't believe that we should open the borders and pay for every person's healthcare plan in the entire universe, no matter what? Bigot. Anyways, guys, I'm gonna cut it there. So appreciate you tuning in today. Yeah, so as you know, still banned on YouTube. BitChute, for some reason, I think they're having a big spike in membership lately because everybody everywhere is getting banned. So it's great, but the double-edged sword of that is that I can't get things to update, right? So my video for yesterday didn't even upload, and I tried it three times. I tried uploading it 3 times. It didn't even upload until like 8 or 9 this morning. So I'm still trying to post every day. Library takes my uploads every day, so that for sure is consistent. I have not missed a day yet of creating video content. So if you don't see me, I will be on BitChute, Library, Brand New Tube, no matter what. So please be sure to follow me on all the alternatives. I also have a second YouTube channel, which I don't even know why, but I'm doing it anyways because I'm going to post in as many places as I possibly can, because these losers, Jack Dorsey and Zuckerberg and all these other big tech losers, are not going to tell me what I can or cannot say. And I'm going to keep going no matter what. As long as there's at least 1 or 2 people listening, I am going to keep going. So anyways, appreciate you guys' support. If you would like to support me further, you can hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. Another great way is to download the Brave browser, which I posted a link to below. That's a free way for you to be able to financially support me and you, because you get paid for it as well. Or you can join up for a monthly recurring subscription on my Subscribestar, or give me a one-off donation on PayPal. So anyways, appreciate you guys tuning in. Hopefully you're doing well. Together we can change the world. See you tomorrow for another video, and take care.